Good morning. May I walk with you to the studio?
Yes.
Mate, I spent an hour or so on Friday morning in the Melbourne Supreme Court listening to testimony. Do you want to run across? Listening to testimony in the trial of James Gargasoulis for the previous Bourke Street atrocity, and I was struck by the testimony regarding the police being ordered to refrain from pursuing Gargasoulis in the car for an hour or so before the Bourke Street atrocity, and in fact being called off. Under no circumstances were they to attempt to interfere with him or attempt to arrest him. And a couple of hours later, I was watching the TV news at about 5 o'clock, and I see the police in Bourke Street confronting this armed offender and backpedaling and holding up batons while the guy is charging at them with what appeared to be a deadly weapon. And I thought, what's wrong with the rules of engagement for the police dealing with a person who's an imminent threat to themselves and other members of the public? Why didn't they just draw their firearms and shoot the guy?
Well, they did in the end.
They did in the end.
And it was a deadly weapon because it had already killed someone.
Well, indeed. I didn't want to be prejudicial in the way I described it, but I just find it bizarre, the necessity of police to backpedal.
I agree with you, and I think the Man Monis case in Sydney, the Lindt Cafe, showed the limitations of police action sometimes, the unreasonable limitations of police action sometimes. I think they should have taken out Man Monis earlier.
Yeah.
Innocent Australians died as a result of that not happening. Now, I know that it's a highly uncertain environment. That was a particularly uncertain environment because it was not known for a long time whether he carried explosives.
Absolutely.
Whether there are other explosives and so forth. I know there's a lot of uncertainty there. I know there are also difficulties with shooting through plate glass windows and all those sorts of things. Nonetheless, I think the assumption, the prejudice that ought to have been brought to bear there ought to have been in favour of those Australians who were caught in that circumstance.
Absolutely.
Similarly, you might think the same thing in the Bourke Street case, although I have to say the circumstances there are quite different. I mean, apprehending someone who's driving a car erratically is very difficult if they're using that car as a weapon. And,
well,
I can't second guess that at this stage. I wasn't in the court.
Right.
I wasn't in Bourke Street that day.
Yeah. I was just struck by the parallels in circumstances where the police apparently are instructed, by no means resort to extreme force unless it's absolutely necessary. And I thought the occasion in Bourke Street in the afternoon was clear. The guy was appearing to assault them with what may have been a deadly weapon, and I couldn't understand why they were simply resorting to their batons rather than drawing their firearms.
Well, I suppose they have some experience in this, and they may have figured that they could bring him down by that. But he was obviously demented and crazy and determined, and we saw other people, members
coming forward. That's right.
Coming forward.
Yeah.
In the end, they did shoot him, and you notice they shot him at very close range.
Yes.
And I think to be fair to the police,
they
have to be very careful about what happens to
collateral damage.
Yeah, bullets. If you fire at too great a distance, the target's too small or whatever, there's the danger of ricochet. We've seen that.
Yeah.
In the case of the Lindt Cafe, for example, we know that at least one of the
that's true.
casualties is a result of
That's true.
ricocheting bullets. So, very difficult situation, and in the end, they took extreme action because they had to. But as I say, I can't second guess it from here.
Mark, thanks for your time. Have a good one.
Thank you.
See ya.